Hey guys, back to another YouTube video. Today it's going to be a showing off video. Now I got some new items from some pawn shops and some flea markets, and I got a few updates to go along with it. And first item I'll show off is what I got at the flea markets. First thing I picked up was this old hickory knife. And it's not really old. It's got the trademark symbol on it. This one's probably from mid-2000s. And it'll clean up really nice. And I'll turn around and sell this one, because I've already got some of these for myself. And next is this little weird item I picked up. This is an old kitchen bone saw that they use for meat. And it actually says always stay sharp kitchen knife. Unknown age. It's actually all aluminum right here except for the blade, of course. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to completely clean this up and look it up, and I'll probably turn around and sell this. So those are the items I got at the pawn shop, and at the flea markets. Here's the items I got at the pawn shop. First thing I picked up was this beautiful baby Paratrooper knife. A lot smaller than the standard ones I got in. And it's made by United Cutlery, which is made in Taiwan. But at how small it is, it's kind of cute because of how small it is. So this will go great with the ones I've already got. Needs some work, but nothing I can't handle. So that's nice. Next, I also picked up this little screwdriver at the same pawn shop. They had a 50-cent bin, so I picked this up. And then I picked up this large file. Now, of course, this is a Chinese file, but I got a particular plan in mind for this. Since I don't ever use Chinese files for my blades. I never do. And this one, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna anneal this, make a blade out of it, and I'm actually gonna test it out quite a bit. I'm gonna baton with it, I'm gonna stab with it, I'm gonna do all kinds of stuff with it, but to test out this quality, which I guarantee I know what's gonna happen. It's either gonna break in half or it's just not gonna hold an edge. The handle itself, I'll actually reuse because it is a file handle, so I'll still reuse it. But this one's not going to be for sale once it's a knife. This one's actually going to be for me personally, just to try it out. And besides, for 50 cents, heck, I wasn't complaining. And next is this weird handmade knife I picked up at the same pawn shop for only $2. And this one, again, I'm going to strip to pieces because it's a partial tang. You can see that. And I'm going to take it apart and see what kind of a blade I could salvage out of it for $2. Heck, I wasn't complaining. And then this was my favorite find of the day. This, you would mistakenly, because I did, I thought this was a K-Bar USMC when I saw it in the display case, but when I asked the kind lady to pick it up for me, she told me this is actually a Case XX USMC fighting knife. Now, it's not very old. This is an early reproduction of the original, but I couldn't say no to this because this thing looks so beautiful. It looks just like a standard USMC K-Bar. But to those who know, K-Bar was the first to produce these, but later on during the war and Vietnam, a lot of other companies were producing them because the design itself came from the United States military. And so K-Bar was one of the first to start producing them. Then later on, a lot of other companies started getting the patents to produce them. And this one was not cheap. I paid $65 for this, which I think is pretty fair considering these on eBay are selling anywhere from $70 to $80, even up to $100 in this condition. Now, I have a theory that somebody may have rehandled this because the leather is not even with the guard right here, and it's not even with the pommel right here, and it's got some rough spots on the pommel. So I kind of suspect this may have been rehandled, but whoever did a decent job. I'm going to shellac this, make it coated tight. But darn, that looks nice. And it even says Case, Bridgeport, Pennsylvania. And then USMC 1992. Again, beautiful knife. That's going to go straight in my military collection. Even though it's not a issued knife, I still like it because it's something unique you don't find every day. And I'm not a big Case fan. I'm a buck guy, but something like this, of course, I'm going to get because I do collect military stuff, and I do have a few Case items in my collection, only if they're really old and military styled. So that's going to go great in my collection. All right, that's all the items I bought, so let's show you a couple of the updates. First is on this, y'all may remember, was a cheap Pakistan dagger, but I did some slight modifications to it. I added some brass pieces right here and put a steel pin through it. and gave it a full tang that goes, a full rat tail tang that goes all the way from the guard to the pommel. And the blade itself I made out of bar stock 1075. So that turned out real great. Next is on this one that I made. This is a coffin handled Bowie knife that I designed after one of the original designs. The blade came from that sawmill blade that I said I was going to make a knife out of, and I did. And man, this thing turned out beautiful. Next is on this one I built. This is a dagger that I said I was going to produce, but never got around to it, and I finally got done with it. It's just a cheap survival knife that I put a double-edged blade in. Came out nice, though. Another update is on my Denix 1911, modeled after the M1911A1. And I did some slight modifications to it. I put a brass washer in this gun, so that way it sounds and functions a lot better. And originally the barrel was severely loose. Now it's actually not that loose. It's going to be a little bit loose because it's not a solid barrel, but this one, I put a washer in, and it makes it a lot more stiffer, and it keeps it from rattling around like a maraca. Now this thing is very solid. The only thing you hear rattling is the hammer. Otherwise, everything else functions perfectly. Again, it's a beautiful example of what the original 1911 looked like, or at least the ones that were issued to the military. Beautiful. And this last update is one that I found out by accident. Those who may remember, this is a Gerber knife that my good friend Outdoors Addiction gave to me. It is a Gerber Strong Arm, but I sadly found out this is a fake Gerber Strong Arm. And how I found out was purely by accident. I couldn't remember the name of this knife, those who may remember in that video. And so when that video ended, I went on YouTube to look up the model of this. And the first video that popped up was a video by the YouTuber by the name Ballpark Peanut Sifai. I hope I said your name right, man. And his video was titled Telling the Difference Between a Fake One and a Real One. And I, of course, wanted to watch the video because I wanted to tell the difference. And I sadly found out this is a fake Gerber Strong Arm. He described all the details of a fake one, and it matches this one down to the bone, which my good friend Outdoors did not know. I sent him a link instantly when I watched the video, and he said just to go ahead and sell it and get rid of it. But I told him I'm still going to keep this, so when I get a real one, I'll have my own video to do. So that way I'll compare the real one to the fake one. If you want to go into the details of why this is a fake, watch his video. So, like I said, my buddy didn't know, but it was a shocker to me too, as well as to him. But he didn't know and I didn't know, but heck, it's still nice. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and like I said, I hope you enjoy. And as always, stay sharp.